Rusty Stainless here. Today I'm looking at the Sigma 1.8 35 18 to 35 1.8, not 1.8 to something, it's a 1.8 lens across the range. If you're looking at this, you've probably already heard about it, probably seen some other reviews, read about it, but I've had it for some time now, and I can give you sort of a long-term owner's review of it. It's a funny lens to just have 18 to 35. Let's be honest, straight up, that's a range of about 29mm through to 50mm on the full frame scale, and look, that's not a lot of reach by any means, so it's in that sort of normal to wide. And start off by saying it's a heavy sucker. This is 812 grams versus about 467 on the Canon Zoom there. It's a beautiful piece of glass. I'll show you some footage and photo comparison between the two. This gives slightly more contrasty images, a bit more pleasant to look at. So there's no doubt it is a fraction better. Is it a lot better? That's, I don't know. You know, we're talking about almost an $800 lens compared to something that's probably about $370, $380 lens there. So why would you buy this, and where is there some reason I have found it outstanding? Well, of course, the 1.8 is where it gets its gain, and that does allow you to shoot in dark at a party or something, or in a low light situation, and you definitely notice the extra 2 stops. So you're coming down from 3200 coming down to 800. It's just simply better image quality because it's less grain. So you can't deny the benefit of it in that regard. So again, why would you buy it? Well, I'll be straight up front. This wouldn't be your first purchase. After having this for some time, I really realised the limitations of it. It comes into its own after dark or where you're shooting wide, but a more practical solution to your shooting is definitely 18 to 135. This is a great lens. This is a little bit special. You buy this as your next purchase when you want to go that little bit better, get that, you know, you start to push it a bit from consumer photographer up to enthusiast. So let's call this an enthusiast lens. One thing I do like about it is the zooming ring here is super smooth. Compared to this lens, this is a bit jerky as you try to zoom it smoothly. This one just goes smoothly. Hold the bus. I nearly forgot the best thing about this lens. It's when it's in its manual mode. I've been testing a lot with it in automatic mode as a stills lens on the 650D, and it's so-so combination. It doesn't really impress me. But what does impress me about this lens when using it in manual mode for video is that it's a real champ. It's the silky smooth focusing ring. That's the silky smooth focusing ring. That's the silky smooth zooming ring. When you, as a video enthusiast, when you're using this lens, you are gonna love it. Image quality isn't such a big deal in video mode because you're really only using the full HD. It's not as though you're pixel peeping at a photo. So you still get a very nice result, and this lens maximizes on that. And for pulling focus, I just use one of these rubber style gizmos, and you just put that on there, wrap that around there and hook it on, and with that mounted on a tripod firmly, and you just pull focus like that. And when this lens goes from out of focus into focus, it pops. It's really nice. So that is something truly good about this lens. And so if you're a video enthusiast, you should invest in one of these lenses. On the downside, the motor in this, when it's focusing, can be heard through the camera. So it's making a little zip zip zip, whereas the STM lenses are quiet. Well, this one is quiet. It can't be heard focusing. You know, I don't know what more I can say about it. It's oh, I know what I can say is I've had this now across 3 cameras. I've had it on the Canon. This is a 650D, and this camera with this lens is really nice. It drives it well. There's no mucking around with the focusing. It's quick. It's not as quick as the STM lens, but it's still pretty quick, and it hits focus. I had this lens with an electronic adapter mounted to a Sony NEX3, and the Sony just couldn't get the focusing right. So every time you hit the focus button, it zoomed out, all the way out, all the way back, all the way up to the focus point. So it had to do that all the time, and it became very tedious very quickly, and it just was horrible to use. So I got rid of that, and you know, that'll teach me for trying to cheapskate, get the cheap Sony and put an adapter on it. No, I should have went straight to the big 650D, 700D, straight up, not mucking around. There is one other combination I've tried it on, and that is with an adapter. This is just a straight FOTGA Chinese adapter, EOS to Micro Four Third, and I mounted it to my Panasonic G6. And unfortunately, with this combination, it gave the blurry image around the edge of the photo. So, and I guess that's maybe one of the reasons Sigma hasn't released this lens in a mount for the Micro Four Thirds. I have heard people online saying that the Nikon version of this lens works well with a Metabones adapter, but I haven't heard anyone talking about a cheap straight adapter. So they're saying the Nikon version works with the Panasonic, but this Canon version is not suitable for the Panasonic. So there you have it. That's where I'll put it. If you've got after you've got the camera, you've got your multi-purpose lens. Maybe it's only 18 to 55, but you've got to get this and this first, and then you get this. And you know, when you can afford that extra $800 odd, and I think you'll be happy with what it can do.